Tyler Jones here with you on this edition of Seahawks Today. We're talking about a potential trade-up scenario in the draft where the Seahawks move up and get Jayden Daniels, and they could be departing from Tyler Lockett. Now, we recorded this before Mike Macdonald got hired as the Seahawks head coach, but with general manager John Schneider still around, this is still a possibility. So check it out. Let us know what you think and enjoy this edition of Seahawks Today. Could the Seattle Seahawks be in the market to make a major trade before the NFL draft to move up to grab LSU quarterback Jayden Daniels in a package involving wide receiver Tyler Lockett? We will discuss that possibility as suggested by a Bleacher Report here on this edition of Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for joining us. Before we dive into this and look into this possibility and tell you everything you need to know, I want to know, folks, with the draft a few months away, who is the greatest Seahawks draft pick of all time in your opinion? Open to interpretation. You could do it based on the most valuable pick. Maybe it's just the best overall player. Whatever it is, I'll leave that up to you to decide. Let me know in the comments section who you believe the greatest Seahawks draft pick of all time is, and we'll get started with today's show. All right, let's begin with this idea as first proposed to by Christopher Knox of Bleacher Report, saying the following: we'd love to see Seattle get aggressive in the draft and move up for a quarterback. The Seahawks probably don't have a shot at Caleb Williams or Drake May, but LSU's Jayden Daniels might be a possibility. Daniels is the 24th ranked prospect in the Bleacher Report scouting department big board, but Seattle would likely have to move up to get him. Trading with the Tennessee Titans would allow the Seahawks to jump the Falcons at number 8. This hypothetical trade would net the Seahawks their quarterback of the future while giving Tennessee extra draft capital and a proven receiver for a second-year quarterback, Will Levis. So what is the trade that Bleacher Report's talking about here? Oh, me, oh, my. This is heavy, folks. The Seahawks would move up to 7, but here's what it would take. Not just Tyler Lockett, but also their first-round pick at 16 overall, a fourth-round pick, and a 2025 second-round pick. Holy shit, that's a lot, folks. Hell no. Hell no. I am against this idea. We're not giving up the farm and all that for Jayden Daniels. I mean, I got to give up all those draft picks, and I got to give up Tyler Lockett with the hope that Jayden Daniels is still available at number 7. I'm out. No thanks. We'll discuss more. I do want to profile Jayden Daniels in just a bit, though. But let's start with this question. Should the Seahawks trade Tyler Lockett for Jayden Daniels and do that trade package? It's our pinned comment today. You know I'm typing HN. Hell no. Hell no, brother. What do you think? HY for hell yes, HN for hell no. Chime in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. Choose 2 or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points, passing yards, receiving yards, and more. Maybe you want to mix and match different leagues, the NFL, NBA, NHL, and more. On Prize Picks for the big game, I got Patrick Mahomes to have more than half a passing yard. I think that's going to happen. I got Isaiah Pacheco to have more than half a rushing or receiving touchdown. And I got Christian McCaffrey to have more than 35.5 receiving yards. If all 3 of these hit and I put $20 down, I'm making $100 on Prize Picks. Play along with me. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS for $100 deposit match. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, proud partner of Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Now, let me say, I'll be completely transparent here. I am not opposed one bit to having trade discussions about Tyler Lockett and his future. Because as we stated a couple days ago in our Cut Candidates video, the Seahawks cannot afford to pay the money that Tyler Lockett requires right now. The money that he would command is too expensive. If he's going to come back, he's going to have to restructure his contract. If I'm John Schneider, I'm saying to Tyler Lockett, I'm giving him an ultimatum here. It's simply this: either you're taking a pay cut or we're moving on from you. It's simple as that. Now, this trade, That's bunkers. That's a no-go for me. I'm not giving up Lockett and a first to move up to 7th and hoping that Jayden Daniels is available there. I mean, that's a bridge too far. But we can talk about trading Tyler Lockett because you look at Tyler Lockett here, 32 years old. He's not a spring chicken anymore. And look at that contract, folks. 2 years remaining on the contract, and he's got a $27 million cap hit coming in 2024. And we talk about Father Time being undefeated. You remember, everybody knows the Belichick philosophy. You'd rather get rid of a guy a year too early than a year too late. In this past season, Tyler Lockett had his first year since 2018 with under 1,000 receiving yards. Now, some of you, before you come through for my throat, are going to say, well, that's because quarterback play was down this year. You know, like, okay, whatever. But here's the numbers for you. Average yards per catch was down, 11.3. Reception number down from a year ago. Yards down. Touchdowns down. Tyler Lockett, I love the guy. We all love Tyler Lockett. We'd love to see him retire as a Seahawk in a perfect world, but it's going to have to require a slice of humble pie from Tyler Lockett if he wants to remain in Seattle here at a reduced rate. So I'm open to the possibility of trading Tyler Lockett. If he's not willing to restructure, not wanting to be a team player, then we could make a move here. What do you guys think? Are you open to trading Tyler Lockett? Why for yes, in for no? Tell me what you think. We are your Seattle Seahawks off-season headquarters, and whenever they make a coaching hire, we're going to not only make a video, we're going to be live on the channel whenever it happens. So, whatever you're doing, stop and subscribe to Seahawks Today. Turn on notifications. You'll be the first to know when the Seahawks make a change. Instant reaction analysis, everything in between. We got you covered. Subscribe now for free right here on Seahawks Today. Now, the Jayden Daniels portion of this equation here. Daniels, I don't think is going to be available at 7. I don't think that's likely here. Not only was this a bad trade idea of giving up all of that, I don't think he's going to be around. Daniels has seen his stock since he won the Heisman Trophy just skyrocket over the last several weeks. Former quarterback at LSU and at Arizona State, won the Heisman Trophy with a dynamic offense this past year. And Mel Kiper Jr. of ESPN has moved him all the way up to number 3 on his big board as the number 2 quarterback, higher than Drake May at this point in time. And it's worth noting when you talk Mel's big board, it's not based on Mel's opinion entirely. A lot of it has to do with what he's hearing from executives and scouts and all that. So if Jayden Daniels has already been talked about there, then he might go as high as 2 potentially at this rate. So, yeah, it seems like a non-starter. Here's more from Mel on Jayden Daniels, saying the following. I went deep on Daniels' future ahead of him taking home the Heisman Trophy. In short, he was consistent enough over the final 2 months of the regular season that I now feel comfortable moving him into my big board. Daniels has a rare ability as a dual-threat passer. He can evade, elude, and blow by defenders, but he also impressed with the way he can run through contact. But it's his improvement as a passer that has him looking like a round 1 selection. And this is what we're talking about his improvement as a passer. Completion percentage was just slightly over 72% this past year. Threw for 3,800 yards, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and he still rushed for over 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns. Jayden Daniels was the very definition of a true dual-threat quarterback this past year for those LSU Tigers. Here's his scouting report. Elite athleticism and burst. I mean, nobody's questioned what he can do as a runner. Good ability to create, and that a dangerous runner at that. You always have to account for that running ability of his, the way he can escape the pocket. Very good deep ball accuracy, which totally, you talk about defending this guy. You got to account for not only him escaping the pocket and going on the run, but then throwing it over the top of you as well. That's a problem for any team trying to face Jayden Daniels. Now, he does have a skinny frame, which could open himself up to future injuries. So that's not necessarily ideal. And then his velocity is a little mediocre, if we're going to be frank. But for the most part, Daniels passes the smell test when it comes to his evaluation for the NFL, and we're seeing him continue to jump up there. What do you think about the Seahawks drafting Jayden Daniels? Would you like to see him in a Seahawks uniform in Seattle make that pick? Let me know what you think. D for draft, B for pass. Weigh in. Let us know, and we'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.